Thank you, Mr President. I rise to take note of the answer to my question regarding the operations of the Fixated Persons Investigations Unit here in New South Wales. Now, I haven't heard a single person in this place or in some of the public commentary be critical about the fact that the Fixated Persons Investigations Unit exists, nor that it should have powers and flexibility to consider appropriate actions, including referrals to mental health support or charges. No one questions that. The fact, and the Minister has indicated, that 200 investigations have taken place, 80 charges have been laid in the 4 years since it was established. It shows it has a role. But this place has a responsibility to ask questions about how this unit operates and where the lines should be drawn around how it operates. Now, this is fundamentally a question of free speech. It has become clear that the FPIU were intending to arrest Jordan Shanks, the presenter of the FriendlyJordies YouTube channel, under similar complaints until the involvement of his lawyers. After what appears on video, the video evidence that has now been widely circulated to be a relatively innocuous incident out the back of Parliament, just hours later, Kristo Langker was arrested in his home, and that resulted in a physical altercation between him and his family and the police. Now, his lawyers have been highly critical of the basis of the charges. His lawyers have been highly critical of the bail conditions, describing them as unprecedented. I raised that in the House yesterday. Can't be in possession of a caricature of the Deputy Premier and cannot criticise his appearance. That seems highly unusual. Now, when a political critic of the government is arrested by the police, a political critical of the government is arrested by...
Order. Look, I'd just ask members on the government side to refrain themselves. The honourable member has a call.
People, including members of Parliament, are right to ask questions about the circumstances. Now, the real test of someone's support for the principle of freedom of speech is when they are asked if they support the right of someone to say something they don't agree with. That's the real test of whether or not you agree with the principle of freedom of speech. Now, look what's happening here. We see members of the National Party, in defence of the Deputy Premier, going after what has been said rather than the principle of freedom of speech and the fact that a political critic of the government has been arrested by the police. I'm not making a judgment in this case. That is for the courts, but we should all be concerned about the decisions here, the roles of members of the executive government and the knowledge that they have.
The Honourable Lou Amato.